which is particularly meant for spiritual practice, for meditation, for contemplation. Brahma Muhurta, the time of divinity. So this Muhurta lasts for 48 minutes. And when it starts, it varies according to season. So you can get those apps where you get, Vaishnava calendar, and you can check when is the Brahma Muhurta. And every day they tell you exactly the time the Brahma Muhurta starts, how long it lasts, when does it end. And then you can try to wake up or, try to catch a bit of that Brahma Muhurta so you can meditate or do something spiritual. Okay, moving on. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on this doshic, cycle, meaning that our day and night is divided into cycles of Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and it repeats. So we have Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and then at night it repeats again. So let's start with Vata dosha. So in the morning at 2 a.m. until 6 a.m. is the Vata period. And if you know about Vata, Vata is the energy of lightness. It's the elements of air and ether. So it's the most light energy. So this is the time, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., when the atmosphere is very, very light. The creativity is there. So that's why Ayurveda recommends that we rise during this Vata time. So say even just before 6 o'clock, 5:30, 5:45 is a good time to wake up, because you're waking up into this Vata period, and that will give you the Vata qualities, meaning you will feel more light, fresh, creative, energized, because you are imbibing those qualities that are in atmosphere during that time. So experiment and see for yourself how you feel when you wake up at that time. You will notice, maybe not initially you may feel tired or wanting to go back to sleep, but if you manage to go to bed early, you'll be okay to wake up early during this Vata time. Then at 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. starts kicking in the Kapha period. And Kapha is the energy more dense. Kapha consists of the most heavy elements, which is earth and water. So naturally, this Kapha period is more kind of slow period, and we are meant to counteract this period with activity. So that is the time of the day from 6 to 10 in the morning when you want to do your exercise, do a little bit of stretching, yoga, maybe go for a little walk outside, something like that will help you to counteract that heavy Kapha energy. Does it make sense? And then from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the Pitta period. And the Pitta is fire. Pitta is this fierce energy. And that is the time when our fire of digestion is most strong. It's working in accordance with the sun. So when the sun is at its peak, that's when our fire of digestion is also at its peak. And that's when we want to put the biggest meal of the day. And we know it will get digested nicely. So 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., try to have your biggest meal, your lunch, could be around 12, 1 o'clock, it doesn't matter. So that's Pitta. And then again, we're repeating. Vata again starts at 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So that's the time of the day when the creative energy is there, so you can engage in your creative pursuits, maybe writing, contemplating, planning, doing something, some work, whatever you are doing. And then in the evening, Kapha again comes. That's 6 to 10 p.m. And that's the time when you want to slow down, prepare for rest, wind down, and just do some self-care practices, maybe massage, dry brushing, whatever you didn't do in the morning, you can do in the evening. So that's very briefly how the times of the day are correlating with the doshas. And the thing is, if we learn to plan our day according to these energies, we will reap so much benefit, we'll be more productive and more healthy, because we will be living according to nature, in balance, in harmony with nature. So try to implement as much as you can, and you'll notice a huge, huge difference and how much more productive you can be. Moving to recommendation number 2. So after we wake up in the morning before sun rises, then we can say a little prayer. Actually, even while still in bed, you can keep your eyes closed and just take a few moments where you can express your gratitude, connect with the divine, whatever tradition you're coming from, say a little prayer, because how we start the day, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. So if you're starting your day in a very kind of passionate mode, very rushed, anxious mode, then most likely your whole day will be all over the place. But if you're taking the time in the morning to really be more mindful, connected, spiritual, it will make your whole day on that note, you know? So some recommendations, there's beautiful prayers in the Vedic tradition, in other traditions, I'm sure as well, but I just wanted to share these 2 with you. Some devotees chant this little prayer: O Vishnu, O Ishan, O Rishikesh, you have awakened me, and now I'm ready to do whatever you wish today. So just setting the mood that I'm your servant, my Lord, and please engage me in your service. If you don't remember this prayer, you can simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And that's the same meaning. We're praying to the Lord that please accept me, please engage me in your service. Another prayer would be a little meditation on Mother Earth, where we are saying, O Mother Earth, I offer my humble obeisances unto you, who are the wife of Lord Vishnu and the residents of the oceans, and who are decorated with mountains. Please forgive me for stepping upon you. So that's also a very beautiful meditation. We're asking for forgiveness for stepping on Mother Earth, and we're seeking the blessings. So choose whatever resonates with your heart, but just that principle that we start the day on a spiritual note. You can put your palms together, put your palms on the heart, and just take a few mindful deep breaths. Thank for the day that's coming. Thank for that you're alive on this beautiful earth and that you have the opportunity to serve yet another beautiful day on this earth. Also, some people, they offer obeisances as they step out of the bed. They bow down to Mother Earth. So see what works for you. I'm just sharing with you the principle of Vedic culture, how we can live a more harmonious life. Practice number 3 is clean the face, eyes, and mouth. That's also pretty obvious. Everyone does that. One thing you could add is you could start doing with a little bit of salt, which is a very antibacterial mouthwash. So simply you can add half a teaspoon of salt to a glass of warm water, and this is your natural mouthwash. So Ayurveda always recommends us using natural products because, say if you buy those mouthwash in the shop, you know, it's full of chemicals. What do they call it? Listerine and things like that. It's you may feel fresh and nice after using it, but the thing is, in the long term, it doesn't do that good to you because in the mouth, it gets absorbed into our bloodstream as well, even though we're spitting it out, but still that brief duration of time that we're keeping the mouthwash in the mouth, it can get absorbed into our bloodstream. So we don't want some heavy chemicals, rather use natural, something that is easily available. So a salt gargle will do its job with cleaning the bacteria. So you can use it not necessarily every day, 2-3 times a week is enough. And it helps to fight bad breath and is very cost effective as well. And for the face wash, so never use hot water on the face. Just use lukewarm water and ice as well. You can sprinkle some cool water on the eyes, because eyes are the pitta organ, means that there's fire element in the eye. So you can cool it down with a sprinkling little bit of water with your fingers like that. So that will awaken the eyes and refresh the eyes. Moving on to practice number, I can't see which number, maybe 4. Sip warm water throughout the day. So that is a very key recommendation in Ayurveda, just to keep us generally healthy, to help our Agni, the fire of digestion, to be strong. We need to sip hot water. So this helps to clear the digestive tract, flush the kidneys, and it prepares the body for elimination. So in the morning, when you wake up, just drink a glass of warm water. That will be really wonderful for you, and especially for those who are struggling with constipation, or maybe you don't get bowel movement first thing in the morning. Then just adding a cup of hot water and then a little bit of walking, that will help you to move your bowels. And avoid cold water. Cold water puts out the digestive fire. So always have warm water, and during the day, it's not so much about the quantity, it's more about the how often you drink the water. So very often try to sip hot water throughout the day. Yes, that will be really, really beneficial. And you can remember this beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita. Rasoham apshukonteya prabhashmisha shishuryayo pranava sarva vedeshu shabdake purusham rishu. Krishna says that I am the taste of water. So when you're drinking the water, you can meditate. It can become a meditation practice. When you drink your water, you remember that this is the taste of Krishna. So that's how we can spiritualize all the even like so-called mundane activities of our daily routine. Moving on to a very important practice in the morning is evacuation. Emptying your bowels is the key to good health. That's why you want to wake up early, so that you can empty your bowels, because it is said in Ayurveda that after 6 a.m., if you didn't evacuate, then your kind of stool starts getting reabsorbed into the system after 6 a.m. So that's why you want to wake up before 6 a.m. and have the bowel movement as soon as possible. Yes? So try to evacuate as soon as possible when you wake up. That is an indication to your good health. If you have any issues, and most people do have now and again, so it just takes a little bit of adjustment of lifestyle, of diet, see what you're eating that may be contributing to constipation, see what's, maybe you can add some herbs such as triphala or psyllium husk, or just more fibrous rich food into your diet to help you to have that elimination. And hot water, sipping hot water really, really helps. Scraping the tongue, I think everyone is doing that. So I'm not going to spend much time here. Basically, it has a multitude of benefits, scraping the tongue. It not only takes out the ama, the toxins that are, accumulating on the tongue overnight, but also it massages the tongue. And our tongue has all these reflexology points related to the entire organism, to the entire system. So when you're scraping the tongue, you're also benefiting your internal organs. So that's another wonderful extra side benefit to doing tongue scraping. You can do this in the morning after you wake up, and you can also do it at night before you go to sleep. And this is a good indication for you to see how you're doing. If you notice in the morning that you have a lot of a thick coating, that just indicates that either the food that you ate didn't digest properly, or it was a bad combination, or your Agni is not that strong, it's impaired. So then you can see that, okay, I need to adjust certain things. And if you see that there's very little coating, it's quite natural for most people, then you know that it's okay, things are working normally. Cleaning the teeth, here we can use Ayurvedic toothpaste or powder. Try to go more natural here, because again, the mouth is an opening to our internal system. So we don't want to put some heavy chemicals in there, but try to use more natural products. And there's a lot of different choices right now. So that is no problem. Avoid toothpaste that has fluoride, because fluoride is considered to be a poison to our thyroid gland especially. So check your toothpaste. If it has fluoride, try to stay away from that. Gargle. So this is another name for oil pulling. Oil pulling is becoming a very trendy practice in the West as well. But actually, it's a very ancient Ayurvedic practice where we keep the oil in the mouth and we kind of swish the oil in the mouth. And that helps to clean the mouth very nicely, very deeply, because the oil adheres bacteria to it. So bacteria has this lipid lipid around them. So they're like basically fat, and fat attracts fat. So when we're keeping the oil in the mouth, we attract all the bacteria that are, all in the small crevices in our tongue, between our teeth. It all gets attracted to the oil. And then we just spit it out. Never swallow this oil. You want to spit it out. The duration, how long you keep it in the mouth, you can start with 3 minutes and then build up to 5 minutes. The ideal time, Ayurveda says, is 20 minutes, but that may seem a bit much for most of us. So even a few minutes keeping the oil in the mouth will have tremendous benefits. And it's not like you put the oil in the mouth and you have to sit and wait. You can do other things. You can get ready in the meantime, prepare your breakfast in the meantime, do other things. You don't necessarily need to sit and wait. So how much oil to use? We just take about a tablespoon of oil. You can use coconut oil, sesame oil. If you go to Ayurveda store, you can buy a special oil, especially meant for oil pulling. And that will be infused with many different herbs. So that has extra benefit. So take a tablespoon of that, put it in your mouth. And then basically you're doing this movement where you're swishing the oil in your mouth, right? So swishing and swirling, making sure that the oil catches all the bacteria. And then spit it out into the bin, because if you spit it out in the sink, it may clog over time. So spit it out and then rinse your mouth with warm water. You don't need to brush your teeth again. Enough is to just rinse your mouth with warm water. And that's it. That's your oil pulling method. It's very, very simple and it has wonderful benefits. You can read about it. It also helps to detoxify naturally the body, because we're attracting the toxins from deeper and spitting it out. So yes, try it out. It's very easy to do and very, very beneficial. Clean the nasal passages. This is also called as neti. Some of you yogis may know this practice. It's where we pour the salty water up one nostril and it comes out the other nostril. It's called gel neti, or a nasal cleansing. And it's a popular practice to help us to clean our nostrils, to clean the passages, and especially beneficial for those people suffering from allergies, from sinus problems. And really anyone will benefit a lot from this, because it helps to keep the nasal passages clear. And then when it's clear, you can breathe deeply and you get so much more prana, the life energy, vitality. This is a quote from Yoga Ratnakara, one of the scriptures. It says, a person who regularly drinks water through the nose in the early morning becomes intelligent, develops eyesight as acute as an eagle, prevents the graying of hair, prevents the wrinkling of skin, and is freed from all diseases. So here, when it says drinks water through the nose, it just means, this gel neti practice where you use the neti pot. You can buy either copper or glass, ceramic neti pot in the yoga stores or just on Amazon. You fill it with salty saline water. And then you just pour one nose up one nostril, breathing through the mouth, and the water naturally comes out the other nostril. And then you swap. But I mean, I don't recommend you to just do this practice on your own. It's best if somebody shows you, if somebody is there with you who knows how to do it, and make sure you're doing it properly. Because there's simple things you need to keep in mind. Like you need to drain the nostrils nicely, because if you keep some water after this practice, it may give you a headache. So making sure you drain the nostrils with Kapalbhati, or this elephant movement where you are forcefully sniffing out. So this is a bit more like, it requires maybe a little bit training. I wouldn't do it on my own, but if you ask somebody to show you, then it's very simple. It's actually super easy to do, and it takes just a couple of minutes in the morning. Okay, moving on, applying oil drops in the nose. So this goes together with jalneti. When you do jalneti, it can be a little drying over a long period of time. So you always want to lubricate after jalneti. So applying drops in the nose, it's called nasya. Nasya, where we put oil drops or ghee into each nostril, and it helps to lubricate the nose, clean the sinuses, improves our voice, vision, and mental clarity. Why? Because our nose is the gateway to the brain. So this nasya, again, it has tremendous benefits, and everyone can do it. It's very, very simple practice, takes just a few minutes. All you need to do is just tilt your head slightly. You can just lie down on your bed and just put your head at the back end of the bed, and putting 2 to 3 drops of nasya oil or ghee up each nostril, inhaling deeply and allowing that oil to penetrate deeper. And that's it. So better to do it in the morning. Not so much recommended to do before eating or in the evening, right? So try it out. Especially also good if you're traveling a lot, if you're on the flights where the air is super, super dry. So keep a bottle of nasya oil with you. You will see how much it helps to ground you, to ground that vata energy. It's a wonderful practice. Also, Ayurveda recommends applying oil drops in the ears. So Ayurveda is all about oil, putting oil everywhere on your body, on your head, on your hair, ears, nose, eyes, everywhere practically. So when you put oil drops in the ears, it promotes comfort in the neck and jaw muscles, helps the body produce and maintain a healthy amount of ear wax. So you can do that on a regular basis, and then just put a little bit of cotton in each ear, just to make sure that that oil doesn't escape too quick. So you can block your ears with a bit of cotton. Dry brushing the body. So this practice, it's very good for lymphatic drainage, because lymph is it's basically our immunity. So we want to make sure that our lymph is flowing nicely. It's not like stuck anywhere. So dry brushing practice, it helps to keep the lymphatic system moving nice and strong. So what you need for this practice, you can buy this natural dry brush. There's special gloves as well. It's more gentle, special gloves for dry brushing, or just a bristle, kind of natural bristle brush. And what you do when you're dry brushing, it's always the direction towards the heart. So you start with one second. You start, say, with the hands, and like nice long strokes towards the heart on your hands in all areas. Then on the joints, you do circular motion, circular brushing. On the abdomen, again, circular. On the legs, nice long strokes towards the heart, and try to do your back as well, as much as you can reach. So this dry brushing you can do before your shower or before your abhyanga, oil massage, and it should be done on dry skin. When you do on dry skin, it helps to exfoliate dead skin cells. It really activates the lymphatic system. Okay, so that's again a traditional Ayurvedic practice, dry brushing the body. Now it depends what your skin type is. If it's more dry skin, don't do it every day because it will dry out your skin. If you're more kapha, where you have thick skin, you can do it every day. It will be very good for you. Self-massage with oil. That's Abhyanga. Abhyanga is the queen or king of practices in Ayurveda. And in the scriptures, it is said that Shira Shravana Padeshu Tam Visheshana Shilayet. That Abhyangam should be done especially for head, ear, and feet. So if you don't have much time, at least focus on these areas, on your head, on your ears, and the feet. Especially ears, because on the ears we have again these reflexology points, just like on the tongue. On the ears, all the points in the body are reflected. So when you're massaging the ears, it's also benefiting your internal organs. And same for the feet. You can look up on Google those reflexology maps where it shows you exactly. Say if you have a headache, which area to massage on your ear or which area to massage on your feet so that the headache goes away. And people do experience relief. So that's how it's connected. This is a quote from Charaka Samhita, where it says that by using oil massage daily, a person is endowed with pleasant touch, trimmed body parts, and becomes strong, charming, and least affected by old age. Why? Because, see, Vata dosha is responsible for aging, basically. And this Abhyanga oil massage is the best practice to counteract Vata dosha. Because massage is like oily, it's nourishing, it's grounding, and Vata is the opposite. Vata is airy, light, dry. So with this Abhyanga, you're counteracting Vata qualities. And in Ayurveda, remember this key principle: like attracts like, or like increases like, and opposites balance. So whenever you experience some kind of imbalance, say you're feeling, you're experiencing constipation. So that means your bowels are too dry. So what do you need to do? You need to increase the opposite. So the opposite would mean perhaps in your diet, include more oily foods such as ghee on top of your meals. Include moist quality. So nicely cooked meals, fresh, warm. Yeah, like that. So just understand this principle. Okay. Let's just see how we're doing with time. Okay, so yoga exercises. It could be any exercises, but Ayurveda and yoga are the sister sciences. They go together. So they very much support each other. So yoga exercises are the most safe for most people. It improves circulation, strength, and endurance. It helps to relax and have sound sleep. It improves digestion and elimination. So you can learn some basic yoga asanas, or you can just practice Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. Govardhan Eco Village offers amazing courses on yoga. So you can check it out and learn on Govardhan Eco Village, with Govardhan Eco Village School of Yoga, and just keep up a simple home practice. You don't need to like go overboard and just do some strenuous exercise. That's not needed. Ayurveda, in fact, says that exercise should be done half to one's capacity. So not overdoing, that you're like perspiring and you catching your breath. That's too much. Ashtanga Samgraha Sushtrasana says that exertion in excess will destroy the body like a lion who fights an elephant and dies after winning due to exhaustion. So meaning that you shouldn't overdo. It should be very balanced type of exercise, where you just break a little bit of sweat on your, I think on your forehead or above your lip, and a little bit in your armpits, a little bit of sweat you break, and that's it, enough. So if that is not appealing to you, yoga exercises, you can always go for walks. Walks is a very safe option for everyone. But exercise should be there. Every day we should move our body. It helps to move our lymph. It helps us to feel more energized. It helps us to keep our bowels moving and healthy. It helps with acne, many things. Bathing. So bathing, I just wanted to mention a few points: that we shouldn't take a bath after eating because it's harmful for digestion. Then hot water shouldn't be used on the head because it dries out the hair follicles. It's not good for the eyes. So avoid hot water bath, especially on the head and eyes. You can use the hot water on your lower part of the body if you need to. And another recommendation is to use a natural body scrub twice a week to just help you remove the dead skin cells. And also, if you're doing massage on a regular basis, you want to scrub a little bit so that there's not so much residue on your body. So you can make a natural scrub, very gentle one with chickpea flour and a little bit of yogurt like that, or ground mung dal. There's natural scrubs you can make yourself. And just scrub your body once or twice a week as needed. Dressing, just another part of Dinacharya daily routine. We do that every day. So I just wanted to mention that perhaps you would like to be more mindful about your dressing and coordinate your colors of your dress with the planets. It's a fun thing to do, and it actually helps us to harmonize with the planets, because everything is very much connected. We have the science of Ayurveda, yoga, and astrology. They're all very interconnected with each other. So when you're dressing according to the planets, it helps you to be connected with those planets and receive the blessings, the energy of those planets. So say Sunday is the first day of the week and is ruled by sun. So on Sunday, you can always dress with a yellow color. You can dress with a kind of reddish color, not like deep red, but more that, like the colors of the sun. Moon is, Monday is ruled by moon. So on Monday, you can wear more like whitish shades, bluish colors like that. Tuesday is ruled by Mars. So it's a fiery planet. The color is red, but actually for those people who tend to have more anger, or maybe you know your chart and you know that your Mars is not so comfortable, then you don't want to wear red on Tuesday because that can aggravate Mars energy more. So then you wear more neutral colors. Anyway, that's just a side note. And then like this, the whole week can be correlated with the colors of the planets. So I just thought to mention that in case you wanted to try it out. And then you will see that after some time, you will naturally dress according to that, even without thinking about it. You will just intuitively pick the color of that particular day, that particular planet. Try to use natural fabrics, wear natural fabrics so that your skin can breathe, avoid synthetic. You can use cotton, linen, whatever is silk. Yeah, just more natural. And for women, long dresses are very much recommended because it helps them to receive the energy, the prana from the earth. They are more preserving the energy. Anyway, that's part of the Vedic culture. That's not our topic today, so I'm going to move on to breathing exercises. Pranayama, it's a wonderful, wonderful aid for our good health. It helps us to improve mental concentration, strengthens the immune system, aids in detoxification, treats depression, and improves lung function, and many, many other things. So pranayama, you can have your basic routine, what you do on a daily basis. So a little bit of energizing pranayama, little bit of cleansing pranayama, and a little bit of calming pranayama. So say you could start with just deep breathing for a few rounds, and then you can do fast breathing or kapalbhati, where it's forceful exhalation, again for few rounds depending on your capacity, and then you can build up after you practice for some time. And then ending your practice with, say, nadi shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing, or Brahmari, humming bee breath, something that will calm your mind, calm your brain. So have a little bit of routine. It doesn't need to take up much time. You can just practice for 5 minutes and you will experience the benefits of pranayama. It should be practiced on empty stomach, and best time for pranayama is in the morning. You can also do at night before you go to sleep, something like Brahmari, calming pranayama, which will help you to fall asleep faster. Meditate and pray. I think that's one of the last practices. Meditate and pray. This is a quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, where it says that in this age of Kali, The holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. Simply by chanting the holy name, one associates with the Lord directly. Anyone who does this is certainly delivered. And that's just one of the many, many quotes of the glories of chanting the holy name. And you can set your own practice, how much you want to do every day, but try to be consistent. Not that one day you are spending 20 minutes meditating or praying and the next day nothing. So it should be consistent practice, even though you may do very little, but keep it up. Keep it up, and you will see that after some time, you will naturally want to do more. So meditation and prayer is very, very essential for us. And in fact, the whole Ayurveda routine is set for us in such a way that we can maintain our body nice and healthy so that we can do the most important thing, which is self-realization, which is engaging our mind, ourself, in connecting with the Lord. That's why we're here. Because see, if your health is down, if you have no energy, if you're constantly sick, then how can you do meditation? It's very hard. It's very hard. Your mind will constantly go to that body part that is paining, and you won't be able to focus. So that's why we need this whole Dinacharya. We need this whole different Ayurvedic practices to help us to maintain our body in good condition so that we can practice mantra meditation, so that we can connect with the Lord and attain the highest goal of life, which is love of God. And one more thing that we can do in our daily practice in the morning, we can hear and study scripture. Now, I know most of you are probably working people and you have many different duties, taking care of your children. So that may not fit in your morning routine. You can do it in the evening as well, no problem. But making sure that every day we're spending a little bit of time connecting with the higher source, receiving the knowledge. Bhagavad Gita actually tells us how to best study the Bhakti text. So in the purport of chapter 1, text 1, you will find that Srila Prabhupada is explaining that we should study the Vedas, we should study the sacred knowledge very scrutinizingly. Not that you just read and like nothing goes in, or it goes in one ear and out the other and you don't remember anything, but you actually spend time. You don't rush through it, but you spend time with whatever you're reading and you discuss. So another thing is you study with the help of a person who is a devotee. Because if we do on our own, we may misinterpret things, we may understand in a different way, we may not understand, some things may be like over the top. So it's good to study with someone who is more experienced, who can guide us, who can explain. And the mood in which we're studying the Bhakti text, it should be without personally motivated interpretation. So we're just really trying to understand as it is. We should really try to receive the message of the Gita, of the scriptures as it is. This is a quote. I'm going to skip that due to time constraints. And the final thing we want to discuss and spend a little time here is eating a healthy breakfast. Eating a healthy breakfast is very important because that's our first meal of the day. So the diet should be alkaline, nourishing, fresh, and timely. Now let's take a look at some different points. These are some recipes I put, but we're not going to go into that. So Ayurveda recommends that we drink warm alkaline water throughout the day. We do not skip meals, so have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner regular meals. Avoid too much snacking, because snacking in between, it just, dampens your digestion fire. It just like disturbs your digestion. Eat cooked, fresh, and seasonal food. So whatever is available in your local area, whatever is in season, that is the best food for you. And it should be cooked fresh. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that meal that is eaten after 4 hours after it's been cooked, it's already in the mode of ignorance. So best is to have fresh meals, freshly cooked. Chew long and well so that the saliva, already when you put the food in the mouth, the digestion process starts there. So make sure that you chew well, that the saliva gets enough contact with the food that you're eating. You can also squeeze the juice of 1 lime over your lunch and dinner meals. That helps with digestion. And try to go for a walk after dinner, after lunch also, whatever you can. Going for a little walk, it helps with digestion. Include more greens in your diet to help with detoxification. So like spinach, kale, chard, whatever is available in your diet, there should be enough greens every day. That's very, very important. And you can add a little bit of ghee to your meals. Find a really good quality ghee, A2 ghee from grass-fed cows. That has tremendous benefits. It's like gold. Some of the vegetables I wanted to mention that help to detox. So for us to help, so whatever we're eating every day, it's actually helping us to detoxify. So make sure that we're taking care of our kidneys. We could include white daikon radish on a regular basis and asparagus. These 2 vegetables are particularly helping to detoxify the kidneys. Then for the liver is doing so much work for us. So we need to take care of the liver. And many people have overheated liver. So Loki, or how else you call Loki? Dudi is the best vegetable that cools down the heat in the liver. So make sure you're eating enough Loki in your diet. It helps to cool down the heat in the liver. It helps to detoxify the liver. And Karela also. Karela is very, very bitter. It's wonderful. Everything that's bitter, it's generally good for the liver. Bitter taste, it purifies the liver, the blood. So including Karela in your diet is very good for you. And also include a few vegetables that help to bind the toxin. So say some of the vegetables helps to pull out the toxins, but you need those toxins to be bound so they can be evacuated. So things like taro root and okra are considered to be the binders. So including them in your diet, it helps to evacuate the toxins. So that's just a brief overview. What are the vegetables that it's good to include in your diet to help with the regular detoxification? And some things to avoid in your diet. So refined, processed, and artificial foods such as refined sugar, flour, pasta. They don't have much fiber in them. So they can be constipating and forming toxins in our body. Nightshade vegetables, that's a difficult one for most of us. But as much as we can, we should avoid these nightshade vegetables, tomato, potato, eggplant, and bell pepper, because they tend to increase inflammation in the body and clog the channels. So they are basically inflammatory vegetables. So if you eat tomato, potato once in a while, once in a blue moon, no big deal. Don't feel bad about it. We're just, Ayurveda just advises that it shouldn't be your daily diet, right? Now, leftovers, try not to consume anything after 4 hours of it's being cooked. Leftover food is inflammatory and generates free radicals. So again, just this principle of freshness, food that is rich in prana. And soya byproducts like tofu, tempeh. I think in India it's not so common, but in the West, it's like a big thing. Everyone is eating soya and soya products, but Ayurveda says it's not so good for us because it's high in estrogen and it is channel clogging. And sugar, of course, we should also avoid. We can have natural sugar like date sugar, coconut sugar. That's okay. And more things to avoid. I don't know if I should spend time here. Okay, briefly. So flaxseed and flax flour, that's considered to be channel clogging. Then sour acidic foods like vinegar and bottled dressings, that's too acidic for our body. Nut butters, too heavy. You can feel when you're swallowing peanut butter, it's kind of like hard to swallow. So imagine when it has to pass through the cells into all these, between the small cells, it gets stuck. It clogs the channels. And when it clogs the channels, then the food sits there for too long. It starts fermenting. From fermentation, it becomes ama or toxins. Chocolate and cacao, that's also channel clogging. Mushrooms, that's mode of ignorance. Hard-aged cheese, try to avoid that. You can have paneer. Paneer is good for you. And certain vegetable oils. So like sunflower oil, safflower, canola oil. All these oils, Ayurveda says that they are a bit more like plastic. The molecules of that oil, they are like resemble plastic. So it's definitely not good for us. When you're cooking, use sesame oil. In summertime, you can use coconut oil. It's cooling. And ghee is, of course, excellent. Okay, we're going to skip that. So now we're just going to summarize, and please send your questions. We're going to look at your questions just now. So this is the routine we covered very briefly, from rising before sunrise all the way up to eating a healthy breakfast. What are the things that we can do in the morning to help us have a very balanced and nurturing morning practice so that we are living in harmony with nature and experiencing optimal health? So I hope that was useful for you. Let's see if you have any questions. Okay, let me just open the chat. Yes, thank you so much, everyone, for joining and for participating. If you, okay, somebody's raising your hand. I don't know if you can unmute. Maybe I can unmute, yes. One second. Okay, maybe it's not working. So can you ask your question in the chat? Amit is asking, can you please share what are the colors of dresses for different days? Okay, that was exciting for you. Yeah, so let's look at that. So Monday, okay, let's start with Sunday. Sunday is the first day of the week, ruled by planet Sun. On Sunday, you can plan your day because that's the first day of the week. I mean, plan your week. So Sunday, more like a reddish, yellowish, orange color. Monday, bluish, whitish colors, like the color of the moon. Tuesday, red or burgundy color. Wednesday is Mercury, ruled by Mercury. So Wednesday, green color, communication. So all the shades of green. Thursday, Jupiter. Wait, excuse me. Thursday is Jupiter. So whitish colors are good. Yellow color is also good on Thursday. Friday is ruled by Venus. So Friday, all pastel shades, pink, purple, baby blue, all these light, beautiful pastel shades on Friday. And Saturday ruled by Saturn. So more like a deep blue color, even black, although black is not so much recommended, but more like a blue color. Yes, okay, great.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes, I have one question. It is recommended that we should chant during the Brahma Muhurta, but as per today's session, we should, in Brahma Muhurta, we should also take care of the body, but we have only one, like morning is one, so what should we prefer first? What should we do first?
Yes, good question. Thank you, Prabhu. So Brahma Muhurta is ideally meant for spiritual practice. So what I'll share what I like to do personally. So I like to wake up at that time, go for Mangalarti at 4:30, do my prayers, chanting. Then I come home around 6:30, and then I do all my practices. Then I do my Abhyanga, I do my Jalneti, I do my Nasya, and then I do a little bit of exercise, and then I have breakfast at around 8:30 o'clock. So that works for me perfectly. So I think that's what I can say. So yeah, Brahma Muhurta, use that time for your spiritual practice, because that's when the mind is the most peaceful and you can really connect and experience the benefits of the sattvic energy. And that's where, yeah, it's best to utilize it in that way for your spiritual practice. And whatever time is left, then you do what you can, what you feel inspired to do. Maybe one day do Abhyanga, another day do some other practices, Jalneti, whatever fits into your schedule, because I know you have work, you have studies, and life can just be very, very hectic. So it's not meant to like overburden you that, whoa, this is so much. Like, how will I ever get time to do all these practices? But take it easy, do your best, and don't stress. Don't stress. It should be nourishing. It should make you feel grounded. It should make you feel uplifted and not like more stressed that I need to do all these things on top of my other duties. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I just wanted to know that, I have been always eating at the odd times, and I'm 35 now. Can I start all those practices which you just said, and I can reverse my conditions, whatever I have, or what the damage that I've already done to my body, it will stay in my body, or and then how it will be? I just wanted to know that. Can the conditions be reversed?
Right, that's a good question. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, so don't worry. Our body is very, very forgiving and it adapts quickly. So as soon as we start some new routines, we need to give a little bit of time for the body to adjust, but it really comes back to good health if we implement these beneficial practices. So even if you spend 35 years of like eating wrong food combinations or doing bad habits, no worries. Whatever damage has been done, you can rectify it. You can rectify it by starting good habits. So start slowly. You don't want to shock your body. You don't want to shock your system with like new routines and new eating habits. Start slow. So like say with sleeping routine. If you've been accustomed to going to bed at midnight and now all of a sudden you go to bed at 10, it's going to be a bit much for your body. So Ayurveda recommends taking out 15 minutes. So now go this for 1 week, go to bed at say 1:45 midnight and then wake up 15 minutes earlier than you used to. So do that for 1 week. Next week, take another 15 minutes. So like that, very slowly, you're giving your body time to adjust and not like just cutting something out completely and like giving the shock to your body. So be gentle and don't worry. The body is strong. And as soon as we start implementing good things, you will see the benefits. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so somebody else, Jayesh is raising hand, please.
I already put my question forward.
Oh, that was you. Sorry. I'm confused between two screens. Okay, that's good. Rahul?
Yeah, Mataji, thank you. Actually, the question is about the digestion and the time. Like we say that we actually should wake up in the morning early and go to bed as early as in the night also. But what about the eating habits? Like what should be the diet in the morning and in the evening, and what time it should be well the sun is setting? And because this actually I am finding some changes in my body, too much gas getting and indigestion kind of a thing. So how can we improve this?
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, so the diet, there's a whole lot of recommendations what to eat, what not to eat. Just to briefly, in the morning, because the sun is just rising, so our fire of digestion is also just waking up. So we don't want to give like a heavy meal like rice, dal, and like chapatis in the morning. It's too heavy. The fire is not that strong to digest that heavy of a meal. So you want to give something more gentle, more like easy to digest. So like could be amarnath porridge, quinoa, even oats is okay. Some stewed apple is a wonderful way to kickstart your digestion. So breakfast is more light. Don't mix fruits with anything else. Fruits should be separate because it takes much less time to digest. Then lunch is your biggest meal. So you have to have variety in your lunch. So rice, dal, sabjis, many different vegetables, greens, spinach, all that should be with lunch. And you can take takra or buttermilk with lunch because we need good bacteria. Good bacteria is our immunity. So taking some kind of takra is very good for you. And then evening, again, the sun is setting. So our fire of digestion is getting lower. So you don't want to overburden your stomach with a heavy meal, even though like most of the people, they come back home after work in the night and they eat a heavy meal because that's probably the only meal they get, at work. Maybe they just eat a sandwich or something. So that's not a very good practice because evening time is when the fire is low. And if you put a heavy meal, it doesn't get digested properly. It turns into toxins. And then your sleep is disturbed. And then you're starting to have skin problems because the toxins are trying to come out. You're having some constipation or digestive issues. So evening meal could be just a vegetable soup. Dal is also okay. Vegetable soup, some kind of light grain, maybe like barley. Things like that. Barley, rice, not so good for the evening. Rice is a bit more heavy. More like lighter grains, amaranth, quinoa. So, and vegetables, all kinds of vegetables for the evening. So that's very briefly. I want to show you something so that I don't forget, and some of you may have to leave. I want to show you that we're going to do in March. You all seem very intelligent people. So maybe you'll like to join us for, from current slide. Maybe you'll like to join us for this Ayurveda training. We're starting in March. We will have a 100-hour Ayurveda training. You can join for just a month or 2 months, up to you. But this will be a very nice, thorough training that will go through all the different aspects, the cooking, what to eat, what not to eat, the main principles of Ayurveda, how things work. It's just going to be a really, you will become a full-on Ayurveda practitioner, so to speak. So we'll go through 9 modules in our training. You will learn the fundamentals, the routine, the herbs and spices and how to use them, the benefits. We'll learn about the digestion and gut health, how to help us, how to help others. We'll learn a lot about nutrition, the detox, safe detox at home. We'll learn about the mental health, the sattvic mind, and beauty tips and health tips, natural practices. And we'll also do some different practices to help us deepen this learning. So this is just overview of the modules. We'll have 9 modules, and in each module, we have 4 classes, meaning that we will meet once a week. I think, the day, we're not sure which day yet, but it will probably be weekend, so you can join. And each week we cover one topic, and then during the week you have a little bit of homework and you have a little bit of home reading to do, so you can actually go deeper and learn Ayurveda very nicely. So these are the topics, just to give you an idea and inspire you to join, hopefully, the training. This is another 3 modules, module 4 to 6. And I'm super excited. All these topics are very, very wonderful topics, and we're going to cover them all. And these are the final 3 modules. So the training will go from March all the way to November. 1 class a week, so it's not like too much. And just wanted to share that with you. So we will share more about this training, and hopefully you'll be able to join us. Okay, let me see.
Online program.
It's online program once a week.
So then,
thank you, Mataji. It was helpful.
Practicals are also practicals, like cooking and all that.
Cooking workshops will be online as well.
Yeah, could you please share the registration? For registration, we have to do online.
Yes, we will share the registration. It's not out yet. You are the first ones I'm sharing this course with.
Okay.
Yes, you'll find out more. Okay, so somebody said, how long will the class be for? So the class will be 1.5 hours once a week with Q&A. Yes, so it's not too much, but at the same time, you get all the good knowledge of Ayurveda. Okay, so still some hands are there. Did you get to ask your question, or shall I unmute you?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dhandavat Pranam.
It was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji, for helping us to know about this.
Thank you.
I have a question, Mataji. Like, as per Panchagavya, I heard that we need to have our lunch before 1 p.m. in between 12 and 1 p.m. because from 1 to 3 p.m. our small intestine will be working. So if we eat at that time, then our digestive system will be, it loses its power. Is it really true, Mataji?
Yes, yes, that's true. So the best time is the noon time, so 12 o'clock. But if you get your lunch in that gap, the pitta time from 10 to 2, that's that's the best. So don't worry too much if it's like little past 1 p.m. Most important, it's the pitta time that you're taking your lunch. Yes, good point. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, we can have it after 1 p.m. also, Mataji, because office timings, it will not be possible to have before 1 p.m. now.
Yes, yes, yes. No stress about it. As long as you fit in the pitta time till 2 p.m., that's still good.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. And evening time we can have before 6 p.m. or
Yes.
7.
Yes, best if you manage before 6 p.m. Even 6 o'clock is good. Yeah, 6 to 10 is the kapha time. So you can have a light dinner during that time, no problem. Even 7 p.m. The most important thing is that you don't eat right before sleep. So if you go to sleep at 10 p.m. and you eat at 9, it's unlikely you will digest your meal properly, right? And you don't want to go to sleep with your stomach digesting, because the nighttime is meant for you to regenerate. Your body is rebuilding itself. And if it's busy digesting things, then it won't do the other things properly. You know what I mean? So you need to make sure that you're going to sleep with a digested meal.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. And in the Dinacharya part you explained now, first we have to scrape our tongue and then we have to clean our teeth. But regularly we do it in reverse, Mataji. Firstly we'll clean our... Is it so?
It doesn't matter that much. So whatever you're comfortable with, you can either clean your teeth and then scrape, or scrape and then clean the teeth. As long as you do it very soon, like together, that's good, because you don't want to keep your tongue. Because as much as how do you explain? If we keep that tongue unscraped, then we are swallowing that bad bacteria, that coating, back into our system. So we want to scrape it off as soon as we can. So ideally, before we drink any water, we want to scrape the tongue so we don't swallow back that coating on the tongue.
Okay, Mataji, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have last doubt. Can I ask, Mataji?
Of course.
Like if we do Abhyanga, if we apply oil on our skin now, we cannot remove it easily with water. How to naturally do it actually?
So if you go to Ayurveda places and you do panchakarma, what they give you after your massage, they give you a little paste, a chickpea paste, with which you rub your body and then have a warm shower. So that cleans the oil nicely. But see, for our home practice, when we do Abhyanga at home, we're not using that much oil. So it's not like we're soaking with oil that is very difficult to clean. We're generally using about a quarter of a cup of oil, maybe half a cup if you're a bigger body or more dry skin. But generally half a cup, not half a cup, quarter of a cup of oil will get used. And I forgot to mention, these are all important things. When we do Abhyanga, we want to allow some time for the oil to get absorbed, penetrated into our skin. So at least there should be a 10-20 minute gap before you shower, right? Because that time will allow, because we have 7 tissues in our body, so the oil penetrates through all these tissues. But if you shower straight after your Abhyanga, then that's not much benefit. And remember to use warm water, even like a little bit hot, but not too hot. Let's say warm water for your shower, because that kind of steam from the water helps to also open the pores and allow the oil to go deeper. In Ayurveda places, we use the steam box for steam, but most of us, we don't have that at home. So the warm shower does give that effect. So yes, and what I do, I have a separate gamsha for that purpose. So I use a gamsha for sitting when I do my massage. And then when I shower, I wipe my body with a separate gamsha that I use for that purpose. And of course, after some time, it gets so oily that you can't even wash it properly. So I just discard it and get another one. So yeah, that's a bit of a tricky part with that oil, but it's no big deal really, because a lot of the oil gets absorbed into your skin.
Okay.
And don't use like heavy soaps, those chemical laden soaps. Try to use more natural soap, Ayurvedic soap, and once in a while make that chickpea paste. It's very easy and it helps to remove that excess oil. Okay.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So
Hare
we
Krishna, Mataji.
now
I have
over.
one question.
Okay, let's take one more question. I don't want to keep you for too long. Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, for vitamin B12 deficiency, any Ayurvedic medicines?
For vitamin B deficiency.
B12.
B12, acha. So there are some medicines you can get in Ayurvedic centers, but first of all, we want to make sure that we are not lacking in our diet. So the diet should be good, and that would include having milk. You can get ahimsa milk. It has a bit of B12 vitamin. So, but again, with milk, it can be tricky because milk can be poison and it can be nectar. So milk should be the best quality, meaning it's coming from the cows that are grass-fed, that don't have any antibiotics, and the milk should be non-homogenized, meaning that the fat from the milk is not removed. The milk should be intact as it is. So milk is one thing, then paneer, spinach, all these dark green leafy vegetables has a bit of vitamin B12 in them. So yes, check the natural sources of vitamin B12. And then in Ayurveda places, I don't know the exact formula, but there might have some vitamin B12 products.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Okay, anyone has like urgent question? The final one. We can take a final question before we break.
Hello.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is Gitanjali. I want to ask, can we have millets at night for the dinner?
Okay, what do you mean by millet?
Siri dhanya, like foxtail millet, little millet and all that.
Yes,
Are
yes.
they heavy or are they light?
Yes, the millets are good for the night. Yes, they are very good for the night. You can have that.
Okay, and for breakfast, can we have them?
Breakfast also good, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I have one question. How important is to have dinner before sunset?
It is important. It is important because, as we mentioned, as the sun goes down, the fire of digestion goes down. But again, consider your appetite. Some people, they work really hard during the day, so they are hungry. They're actually hungry at night. And if you do have that strong hunger, the food will get digested. So it's no big deal for you, But if you eat just because you're stressed out, you had a heavy day at work and you just need to relax, then you will notice that slowly, you'll be adding on weight, you'll be adding on kgs because that food doesn't get digested so well at night. So yeah, now that it's winter time, the sun goes down early. So it doesn't mean that we need to stop eating at 5 or something. I don't know what time exactly the sun goes down, but notice your digestion, notice how hungry you feel and adjust accordingly. But keep in mind that late meals are not good. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank
And Mata Jang Yaseni Mataji is asking anything for weight gain. Oh, that's a huge topic. We're going to cover that in our Ayurveda training. We have the whole session on that. So yeah, all I can say is just a combination of things. When we want to reduce weight, we need to adjust our lifestyle. So meaning targeting kapha dosha, we need to be more active because kapha is like lazy, lethargic, slow, dense, and steady. So we want to be the opposite. We want to start moving, being more active. We want to eat food that is more light in nature. Kapha is, heavy, oily in nature. So, counteracting the kapha qualities. And also there's other deeper aspects to weight gain. So first we need to figure out what is causing the weight gain. It could be the emotional state. So anyway, it's a loaded question. So sorry, Mataji, I'm not able to answer that. Sri Lekha Mataji is asking, is it fine to have milk after early dinner? So see, with milk, it's a completely separate food. You should take it separately from anything else. You shouldn't mix milk with anything else. So if you digested your dinner and then you give, say, a couple of hours, and then before you sleep, say half an hour before you sleep, you can have milk. It will be nice. It will help you to sleep better. It's very vata pacifying. It will help you to have a nice bowel movement in the morning. But with milk, remember to prepare it in a particular way. So when you're boiling milk, always add cardamom, full cardamom seeds. Just open them a little bit, one end. Cardamom seeds, cardamom pods, the whole pods, because cardamom helps to digest protein in the milk. And also add a bit of cinnamon. It helps to digest sugar in the milk. And then in addition, you can add a bit of turmeric. It cleans the liver. You can add a bit of nutmeg to help with the nervous system, a bit of saffron for the brain. So adding a little bit of spices. And if you feel you're more kapha type, you can mix half cup milk, half cup water, boil it together with spices and drink like that. In this way, it won't be so heavy for you. So with milk, it's again different, a whole science about milk. But generally it's considered to be the most ojas producing food. It gives you instant immunity, vitality. It goes, most of the food, it has to travel through the 7 tissues and it takes days until it fully nourishes us. But milk, it directly turns into ojas. It's that powerful. So thank you all so much. I see the questions are coming in, but we're going to have to stop here. I really thank you so much for all your participation, for your patience, and for asking beautiful questions. And I really hope that this session was useful and that you learned something. And most important, take one thing that you heard today and apply it into your life. Just one thing. Doesn't need to be the whole 20 points that we discussed. Just start somewhere, take one thing, be consistent, be regulated, and you'll see the benefits. Because see, in today's world, we're hearing so much, but are we applying? So apply the knowledge and then it will truly work. So wishing you all the best and happy Vasant Panchami. And keep in touch, and we will let you know about the Ayurveda training that is coming up in March. I hope we see you then. And until then, Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranams to everyone.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji.